I knew I was in trouble the moment his eyes found mine sharp. Royal gold, the kind that pinned you like a spotlight you didn't ask for. I'd been trying to slip out of the ballroom unnoticed, clutching the hem of a dress that never quite fit me right. When the Alpha King's voice rolled across the hall like distant thunder, "Bring her to my room." At first I thought he meant someone else. He had an entire palace full of admirers, every one of them prettier, stronger, worthier than the Omega who'd just been rejected in front of half the pack. But the guards turned toward me, and the King Rowan was still looking straight into my soul as if he'd been searching for it all night. My legs felt like they'd forgotten how to stand. Maybe it was the humiliation still stinging my skin from when Lucas, a long-time made hopeful, told me in a low, embarrassed whisper, "I can't bond with someone like you." Or maybe it was the shock of the most powerful wolf in the kingdom wanting. "Me, your Majesty," I managed, my voice barely more than a breath. I shouldn't be you should," Rowan said softly, but with a force that made every muscle in me lock. "Come," his tone wasn't cruel. It wasn't even commanding. It was something else entirely, something warm and gravity-heavy. Like he already knew I'd follow. The guards led me through quiet stone corridors to a private chamber lit by soft gold lamps. Rowan dismissed them with a nod before turning to me, the door clicking shut behind him. "You looked like you were about to pass out in that hall," he said. "Sit, *." I sat because my body obeyed him before my brain caught up. He didn't come closer, not yet. He just studied me with a tension I couldn't name. "You're trembling." "I just had a bad night," I murmured. His jaw tightened. I saw. Of course, he had. The rejection was loud enough to echo. But I didn't expect him to care. Kings don't notice broken things, especially not Omegas born at the bottom rung of the pack. "Why did you bring me here?" I asked, finally daring to meet his eyes. "I'd beat too, then, because the moment you stepped into the hall, every instinct in me went silent." His voice was low, careful, and then very, very loud. My breath stalled. "That doesn't make sense." "It does to me." He walked closer, slow enough that I could have stopped him, fast enough that my heart hammered against its cage. "You don't scent like fear. You scent like someone trying not to disappear." I swallowed hard. "Maybe I am." "You don't need to disappear around me." I wanted to believe him. God, I really did. But reality didn't bend just because the Alpha King spoke gently. "Your Majesty," I whispered, "I'm no one." His hand lifted halfway, hesitating, asking before brushing a stray curl behind my ear. The touch was so careful it almost hurt. "Everyone is someone," he said. "But you feel like something I should have found long ago." No one had ever spoken to me like that. Not with certainty, not with awe. My chest ached with something warm and terrifying. But desire wasn't the only thing curling between us. There was confusion, and secrets, and a flicker of warning somewhere inside me that I couldn't quite place. For days afterward, Rowan kept finding reasons to see me. Breakfasts delivered to the garden where I walked alone. Quiet conversations on balconies overlooking the training grounds. Moments where his fingers brushed mine like he was testing fate. He never pushed. Never pulled. He simply existed near me in a way that made everything else fade to background noise, and too slowly to fully notice I started to feel like I belonged in a world I'd never been invited into. But not everyone liked that one evening. As I headed toward the library, a voice hissed from behind a pillar. "You really think he wants you? A rejected Omega. Don't embarrass yourself." It was Lucas. The sting I thought I'd buried punched straight through me. "Leave me alone." "I'm trying to help you. You're nothing to him. You're nothing to anyone." A sharp growl cut the air before I could retort. Rowan appeared behind me so silently I hadn't sensed him. His expression wasn't angry no, it was lethal. Asterisk. Say that again, he told Lucas. His voice lined with ice. Asterisk. Lucas went pale. Your Majesty, I didn't mean asterisk, you did. Rowan stepped between us, positioning his body like a shield. And you've said enough. Lucas fled. I should have felt vindicated, but all I felt was shaky. Exposed. Asterisk. Rowan turned to me. And there was something in his eyes I hadn't seen before. Asterisk. You're not nothing, he said. You're complicated. Asterisk. Complicated, I echoed, trying to smile. Asterisk. And important, he added. Softer. That part scared me more. Asterisk. The twist came the night of the blood moon. Ceremony. The night I learned why Rowan had felt drawn to me from the first moment. Asterisk. We were standing on the balcony. The moon a burning red pearl above us. When he finally said the words he'd been holding back. Asterisk. I think you're my fated mate. Asterisk. For a second. Everything in me went still. Then everything collapsed. Rowan? My throat tightened. That can't be right. It is no. I stepped back, shaking my head. Because I would have felt it too. Asterisk. His brow furrowed. You don't. Asterisk. I feel something. My voice cracked, but not the bond, not the snap, not what everyone else talks about. Asterisk. His gaze darkened with something wounded, something afraid. But I wasn't done. There's more, I whispered. When I was a kid, the elders tested me. I don't have a mate mark. They said omegas like me sometimes come out wrong, unbonded, unlinkable. Rowan stared at me like I'd just told him the world was ending. You think you're unable to bond, he said slowly, because someone told you that when you were a child. Asterisk. They were the elders. They would know. Asterisk. No, he said firmly. They would assume. He moved to me, hands cupping my face with breathtaking gentleness. I feel the bond, he whispered, even if it's faint for you now. Bonds don't always spark instantly. Sometimes trauma buries them. Sometimes rejection wounds them, but they don't disappear. Asterisk. I wanted so badly to believe that, but fear clung to my ribs like vines. Asterisk. And then when Rowan leaned closer, right when the world narrowed to just his breath and mine, the moon flared. Asterisk. Pain stabbed through my chest. I gasped. Rowan caught me before my knees hit the floor. What's happening? I don't know. Heat ripped down my spine like lightning. My pulse roared. And then I felt it. A tether slamming awake inside me. Sharp enough to steal the air from my lungs. Asterisk. Rowan inhaled sharply. You felt that? Asterisk. My whole body was shaking. Yeah, I whispered. I did. Asterisk. The bond I thought I'd never have. The bond the elders told me was impossible. It was real, and it was him. I don't remember standing. I don't remember pulling Rowan down into the softest, trembling kiss of my life. I only remember the way he held me like something precious finally returned home. Asterisk. When we finally broke apart. The fear that had lived in me for years felt smaller, manageable. Fading. Asterisk. You're not broken, Rowan murmured against my forehead. You were never broken. Asterisk. And you're really my mate, I asked, breath hitching. Asterisk. His smile was quiet, reverent. I think I've known since the moment I saw you trying to disappear. Asterisk. He pulled me against his chest, the bond humming warm and bright between us. Asterisk. You don't have to disappear anymore, Steve said. For the first time in my life, I believed it. I stayed in his arms, listening to the steady sound of his heartbeat. Safe, wanted, chosen. Asterisk. And as the blood moon arched across the sky, painting us both in its red glow, I realized the twist wasn't that an alpha king could love a rejected omega. Asterisk. The twist was that I could love myself because he saw me first. Asterisk. Rowan kissed the top of my head, his voice a soft promise. Welcome home, little wolf. Asterisk. And for once, home didn't feel like a dream. I wasn't allowed to touch. It felt real. It felt warm. Asterisk. And it felt like him.